are interfacing with these by using these controllers. We are interfacing to the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, here we are going to interface 8255 to the 8086 microprocessor for gaining a programmable peripheral interface. That means we are peripheral, that means 8255 is one of the controller which is used as a peripheral interface between so many devices which are connected to the 8086 processor. So by using this 8255 we are going to connect the various devices to the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, so here in this unit, in the third unit, we are going to handle the controllers which we are having the advantages of interfacing the devices to the 8086 microprocessor and to other devices. So by using the coming to the programmable peripheral interface, it is a 8255. The name is as an 8255. So these are the features of 8255. We are using this programmable peripheral interface for connecting the various devices to the 8086 microprocessor. So for writing, these are the features of 8255. It is a programmable device. That means we are going to program this device for connecting the 8086 to the various devices like mouse, keyboard, pen drive, 7-segment displays, LED displays, LCD displays, whatever the stepper motors and the analog to digital converters and the digital to analog converter devices are going to interface to the 8086 by using this 8255 programmable peripheral interface. We are going to interface this 8255 to the 8086 microprocessor by programming by this with these devices. We are going to program this device. So it's a programmable device. That means we are going to program that device by using the various languages like assembly language. We are mostly using assembly language for programming to 8255, which is interface to the 8086 microprocessor and to devices. So it has 24 input-output programmable pins like port A, port B and ports. So it has 24 input ports and the output ports which are programmable by the programmer, like port A, and port A is the one pin and the port B is the another slot and the port C is the another slot. That means we have 3 ports. For each port A is having 8 pins, port B is having 8 pins and port C is having 8 pins. For each port we have an 8 pins. Totally we have an 24 input-output programmable pins. This is a pin diagram of 8255. See here we have an port A 3 to port A0 and port here port A4 to port A7. This is a port A and this is a port B and this is a port C. Port A, port C and port B. Each port is having 8 pins. Totally we have 24 input-output pins which are programmable. That means we are going to program that pins for getting transactions between input-output. That is the information transaction between 8086 microprocessor to the input and output devices. So it is a 40 pin IC. 8255 IC is a 40 pin IC, 40 pin dual in package IC. We have a read bar in the 5th pin and the write bar in the 36th pin. For reading operation, we are having the read operation. For write operation, we are having a WR. And if I reset the resistors, we have a reset pin at the 35th pin. And for transferring the data between input and output devices and the 8086 processor, we have a data D0 to D7 which are at 8 bits. And then A0 to A1 are the address pins. A0 to A1 are the address pins which are used to carry the address from the devices, input output devices to the 8086 microprocessor and then 8086 microprocessor to the input output devices. And this is a ground and the power, we have an power supply VCC but this 26. And these are the CS bar. CS bar is whenever CS bar is 0, 8255 is in the operation. That means it is going to handle the operations in a system bus. So this is the pin diagram. Each ports are used to carry the information from one input output device to 8086 microprocessor and then 8086 to input output devices by using the data pins D0 to D7 carries the data information and it carries the address by using 8 and 9 pin. These are the read and write pins and the reset for resetting the registers which are present in the 8255 controller, and the CS bar, whenever CS bar is 0, that means CS bar equals to 0, that means 0 bar, that means CS equals to 1, that means the chip is select. That means whenever the chip is select, is 8255 is in operation. Coming to functions of these pins, there are D0 to D7. These pins are 8-bit bidirectional buses connected to 8086 data bus for transferring data. For transferring data, we have an D0 to D7 pins and the CS bar. This is active low signal. When it is low, then data transferred from 8086 or 8085 or 8086. We are also called like that. So read bar, this is active low signal. When it is low, read operation will be stopped. And WR bar, this is active low signal. When it is low, write operation will be stopped. Okay. So this is a functions of pins, data bus and the CS bar, read bar and write bar. Coming to address pins, functions of pins A0 to A1, we have 2 pins for the address A0 and the A1. This is used to select the ports like this. Whatever the port, what the ports we are using now, port A or port B or port C. Whatever the pins we are using now, the operation, what the operation, port A operation is going on, port B operation is going on, or port C operation is going on. However, what the ports in the functioning is told by the address pins A0 and A1 by recognizing. Coming to read operation, whenever A1, A0 is 0, 0, both are 0. Read bar is 0, that means read bar means 1, that means read operation, write bar equals to 1 means write bar 1 bar, that means 0, write operation is not there, only read operation is going with the logic 0, 0, and chip selector, CS bar equals to 0 bar means 1, that means the chip is select for the operation is going on. Whenever CS bar equals to 0, 8258 is in the operation mode. Whenever these are 0, zeros, both are zeros, then read operation is going on. Whenever both are zeros, port A to data bus. Whenever 0, 1, both 0, A1 is 0, A0 is 1, then port B information is, port B is carrying the information from 8086 to input and output devices. Whenever there is a logic A1 is 1 and A0 is 0, then port C is going to handle the system bus. Whenever there is both are 1, A1 is 1 and A0 is 1, then there is a control word register. There is a storage of data in the control bar register. Port A, port B and port C is not going to access the system bus. Only the data is stored in the registers. That means control bar register. It can carry the information from the input output devices to the 8086 microprocessor. It is a read operation. Why? Because these are zeros. Read bar equals to 0 means, that means it can a read operation is going on. Coming to write operation, A0 to A1, this is used to select the ports like this. So write operation, whenever 0, 0, we already know data bus to port A. Write operation means we are going to take the data from the input output devices or 8086 microprocessor. That means whenever these becomes a 0 0, logic 0, A1 is 0, A0 is 0, then it carries the information to the data input output devices to the port A. That means port A is going to handle the system bus, and whenever the logic is 0 1, port B is having the logic, port B is handling the system bus. Whenever these are 1 and 0, that means A0 is 1 and A0 is 0, then port C is handling the system bus, and these are 1 and 1, then there is no operation port A, port B, port C is in the rest mode, only the we are write the data to the registers. Okay, so and read bar, this is the write operation, then read bar becomes 1, read bar equals to 1 means 1 bar, that means 0, read operation is 0. This is the write operation now. So WR bar equals to 0 bar, that means 0 bar means 1. So we have an WR bar equals to 0 bar, that means write operation is having this WR equals to 1. So the write operation is having 8255 is going to write the data, that means taking the data, that means fetching the data from the input output devices or the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, see here once again. So we have an like this 8255 PPA, that means PPA, and 8086 microprocessor, and various input and output devices connected in the system bus. This is a total system bus. This is the total system bus. Here we have an port A, port B, and port C. These ports are used to carry the information from 8086 to the input and output devices, and input output devices to the 8086 microprocessor. By taking the data from this 8086 microprocessor, it gives the input output devices and input output devices to the 8086 microprocessor by the ports A, B and C. We are programming like that. Also reset. This is used to reset the device. That means a clear control registers, and a port A0 to port 7. It is a 8-bit bidirectional input output pins. It is a 8-bit. Used to send the data to peripherals or to receive the data from the peripherals. PV0 and the PV7 similar to PA, that means whatever the operation by the port A is similar to the port B, and port C0. This is also 8-bit bidirectional input output pins. These lines are divided into two groups. These port C's are divided into two groups. Here port C2 not to C3, that means lower groups. Port C4 to C7, that means higher groups. These port C is again divided into two groups. C0 to C3 lower, and C4 to C7 higher. These two groups working in separately using 4 datas. These are 4 datas, and these are 4 datas working separately. Block diagram of 8255 PPA. So 8255 PPA, assume that here we have an 8086 microprocessor, and then here we have an input and output devices. See here, this is connected to this 8255 block diagram, and input output devices is connected to this here. See here, we have an 8255 programmable peripheral interface. This is a block diagram for the programmable peripheral interface. We have in the pin, we have an data buses D0 to D7 for carrying the data from 8086 to input and output devices, and the read and write control logic for read operation, write operation. For sending the address of that 8086 or input output devices, we have A0 and A1. For resetting the registers, we have reset pin. For the operation of this chip, we have an chip select as CS bar, and group A control and the group A control. We have an under the control of group A, we have an group A port A, which is an 8 bits, and group A port C, which is an 4 bits. Port C upper, and under the control of group B, we have an group B port C lower, and a group B port B 8 bits. So here group A is having the control of group A port A, and group A is also control of port B port C upper, and group B is having the control of group B and group B port B. And here these port A and port C and port C lower port B's are used to carry the information to the input and output devices. These are the input and output devices. These are the input and output devices. These are the input and output devices. Here, whatever the information from the 8086 microprocessor, from the 8086 microprocessor is sending to these 8255 by using the data buses D0 to D7, and here the information is sent to the with these buses. These are the buses, bidirectional buses. That means the information sends from input and output devices, or from 8086, whatever the direction, the data will be transferred from input and output devices, or 8086 and 8086 to input and output devices. The information is carried to the by using the data buses to this group A or group B. This group A is sending the information to the group A or group A port C upper, or group B, whatever the program we are writing, the information is trying to send to these input and output devices by using these ports, port A, port B, ports. This is the block diagram of 8255 programmable peripheral interface. These are the modes of operations of 8255. In these modes, we have two operations: bit set reset mode and input output mode. See here, a bit set reset mode means we are resetting the bit by using some operations, and the input output modes, modes of operations, that means operations which are performed by the 8255 input and output devices. Mode 0, basic input and output devices. Mode 1, strobed input and output devices. Mode 2, strobed bidirectional input output devices. Strobed input and output devices and the bidirectional input and output devices. Basic input and output devices. Coming to these operations, we have an input output port. In this mode, group A and the group B control. In these modes of operations, 8255 ports as a programmable input and output ports. That means we are going to program that input and output ports, group A and the group B control. So here mode 0 in the input and output operations, that means we have seen already here input and output modes. We have and mode 0 basic input and output mode, and in mode 1 strobed input and output mode. Mode 2 strobed bidirectional input output mode. Let us see what are the mode 0 operations, mode 1 operations and mode 2 operation in the next slide. So see here, 8255 ports as a programmable input and output ports. In the mode 0 input and output mode, basic mode. This is the modes of operations of 8255. Mode 0 input and output mode, basic mode. It is called as in the mode 0 operation of 8255. It is called as an input output mode, basic mode. Why it is called as a basic mode? Why? Because this mode provides simply input and output using each of 3 ports without handshaking. That means data can be simply read and write. 2 8-bit ports, port A, port B is used, and 2 4-bit ports, remaining 4 bits are used combinedly or independently in the port C. Okay, see here with this basic mode, that means mode 0 operation, we are simply write the data, read the data to the input or output devices without knowing the information is sent or not. That means there is no handshaking signals between transmitter and the receiver. By using the data can be simply read and write by using port A, port B and port C. Either port C is used independently 8 bits or dependently, that means 4 bits are used or 8 bits are used depending upon the operation. But in coming to the mode 1, we have, it is called as an mode 1 single handshaking or a stopped input output mode. So see here, port C is used for the handshaking signals. That means port C is used for the port C is especially is used for in this mode 1 operation for providing handshaking signals for transmitter and the receiver. So for example, the lines PC0, PC2 provide handshake lines for port B, and the lines port C3 and port C5 provide handshake lines for port A. And then the lines port C6 and port C7 may be used as independent data lines of port A and input or output. For example, some devices are doing only input and input operation only. Okay. For example, a pen drive, either keyboard, mouse like that. See here, in these three devices, pen drive is sometimes it acts like an input, sometimes it acts as an output. And also LCD displays and keyboard, keypad. LCD display, sometimes it acts as an input, sometimes it acts as an output. Keypad, sometimes we are going to provide the input. Okay, only we are providing by using keyboard, only we are providing input, and only we are providing input by using mouse, and only we are providing input from this keyboard. So, but coming to pen drive and the LCD, we are going to give, by using LCD we are going to give the input, and also we are presenting the output. The system will provide the output by using the same LCD, and we are going to take the device, pen drive, and also it sometimes acts as an input, sometimes it acts as an output. For example, LCD. By using this LCD, we are giving inputs like touching this board, and sometimes LCD is I'm touching this board and it gives us an output like this dot. That means like this. I'm drawing this. I'm using LCD. It's input, and it displaying that line. That means it is also acts as an output. At a time, the LCD acts as an input. At a time that device LCD acts as an output. So that process in the mode 1, LCD I'm programming like that. That device acts as an input. Port C is used for hand like that. Keyboard is acts as an input. Mouse is acts as an input. Or LCD is acts as an output. In the mode 1, we are providing only single handshaking signal. Single handshake means stored input mode means only we are providing either input, either output, not at a time input and output. Okay, like that. So here, at a time, the keyboard is acts as only as an input, or mouse at a time it acts as an only input. So it provides only single operation. So for that keyboard, I am programming like that by using port C is used for the handshaking signals, but port C is used to carry information from 8086 microprocessor to the various peripheral devices, and port C C0 is provide handshaking lines for port B. Port B is used the port C0, port C2, and port A is used the port C, C3 and C5. We already know upper port C is used port A and port B is used lower order ports C. These lines port C7 may be used independently or used as an independent. That means port C6 and C7 is combined used or either individually used. So port keyboard is acts as an input, mouse is acts as an input. That we are providing only single operation in the programming by using mode 1 operation. Coming to next slide. Coming to next one, it's a mode 2 operation, bidirectional strobed input on output mode. See here, LCD, it acts as an input either and it acts as an output at a time, and the pen drive, we are giving input, we are taking output from that device at a time. That means we are copying the data, we are receiving the data from that device itself at a time. So whenever we are bidirectional, that means input and output. That means giving input at a time, it giving output. Giving input, it giving output. That means bidirectional. That means bidirectional stored input operation and the output operation. So port A can be initialized in mode 2. Port A is used only in the mode 2 operation. Handshaking signals provide to maintain proper data flow and the synchronization between data transmitter and receiver. That means for providing data transmission rate, for attaining proper data transmission between the sender and the receiver, we are using this mode 2 operation. So for handshaking signals means we are provide exact synchronization between transmitter and receiver by using mode 2 bidirectional. That means that device is going to handle either input, both input and output device. Like that, whenever we are press this screen, it gives as an output dot input. We are pressing the input and it gives as an output like this. It's a mode 2 operation. Generally, in the real time applications, we are using only mode 2 bidirectional strobed input output mode. Okay, for providing proper synchronization between transmitter and receiver. Coming to bit set mode, it is another mode in the port 8255 programmable peripheral interface. Bit set, reset or reset. Bit set or reset. That means bit will be on or off. So 8255 is on or off. In this mode, any 8 bits of port C can be set or reset depending upon P0 of CWR. So here control word register, in the 8255 we have a register, it is called as a control word register. By depending upon the 8 bits of port C can be set or reset depending upon the port C values. So port C bits we are going to use this register. C control word register. Control word register B0. We have, and in the control word register we have an 8 bits. 8 bits. See B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7. So B0 is 8. Whenever B0 is 1, that means see 8255 is in the operation mode. That means 8255 is going to operate operation in the operation mode. Whenever it is 0, that means it is an off state. 8255 in the off state. And these are B1, B2, B3 are the port C bits. Whenever these 3 are B1 is 0, B2 is 0, B3 is 0, port C0 is going to transfer the information from input and output devices to the 8086 microprocessor. And these are the don't care. That means we are not using this B4, B5, B6. And B7, 1 means 1. If B7 is 1, B7 bit is 1, it handles the information. But port C0 is going to handle the information with the input devices and the output devices. Port C0 is carrying the information to the input devices or output devices. Whenever the B7 bit is 1, whenever the B7 bit is 0, That means in bit set or reset. That means bit set, either it is 1, either it is 0. That means whenever there is a 1, the operation is performed by the 8255. Whenever it is 0, there is no operation performed by the 8255. Okay. So depending upon the selected bits of port C, depending upon the B0 of CWR, B0 of CWR, either it is 1, that means 8255 is in the operation, it is 0, it is 8255 is not in operation. Depending on if it is 001, port C1 is carrying the input and output devices information. These three are don't get, that means not used. 0 means it is a reset state, like this is about the 8255 programmable peripheral interface. Thank you. కట్ చేసి సార్ రిటైన్ సార్ థర్డ్ అవర్ తీసుకున్నాను నేను. సరే సార్ ఏ సెక్షన్ వాళ్ళకైనా సార్ సరే సార్ తీసుకున్నాను. 3 o'clock కదా సార్ 3 ఓకే సార్ నాది మీరు తీసుకుంటారు మీరు నేను సార్ ఓకే సార్. students, this is an interfacing of digital to analog converters. So here we are using this is an the input devices or output devices. We are going to interface the digital to analog converters to the 8086 microprocessor by using 8255 programmable interrupt control. We already seen the 8255 programmable peripheral interface 8255 PPI. By using this 8255, that is for connecting the input and output devices to the 8086 microprocessor for proper transmission and the reception of the data from the 8086 microprocessor and the input and output devices. We are interface these 8255 for providing for sending the information from 8086 to 8255 to the input and output devices. See here, the DAC is converts the binary numbers into their analog equivalent voltages. Digital to analog converter converts the digital input into analog signal. Okay, so in this real world, we are using only the digital output and digital input. Sometimes we want analog inputs in the real time, so that's fine. We are convert those digital numbers into the analog numbers by these DAC converters. So we are interfacing these 8086 to the DAC converters by using 8255 programmable peripheral interface, which is having ports. Which is having port A, port B, port C for carrying the information from 8086 to input and output devices. So this is IC for the DAC converter. So this is the IC AD7523, which are used for conversion of our binary numbers into analog numbers. So here we have an output 1 and output 2 for getting the output analog output from this converter, and we are going to give the input binary input from V1 to V8. That means we have an 8 bits binary inputs. So binary input, that means a digital input, binary input. We are getting finally an analog output from output 1 and output 2. We have, and for the power supply we are using V plus, V referencing, and for ground we are using 3rd pin, and then no connection of 13 and 12 pins, we are not using 13 and 12 pin. For feedback we are using the feedback resistor or B for providing the op-amp at the output side for the conversion of the binary currents into voltages in the form of an voltage. So that's why we are using the feedback resistor like this. It is an 8-bit multiplied DSC from B1 to V8 having 16 pins. So here we have 16 pins named as AD7523. Power supply V plus is 5 volts to 15. So we are using these V plus for power supply 5 to 15 volts. And here we are having R2R ladder circuit with resistance 10 kilo ohms. P reference in is used from minus 10 volts to plus 1 volts, and output 1 and output 1 is connected with the Zener diode for avoiding negative transients from the output of this 827523. So here we have the connections like this. So here we have an example, one of the example interfacing DAC AD7523 with the 8086 running at 8 MHz and write ALP, that means ALP means assembly language program, to generate a sawtooth waveform of a period 1 milliseconds with Vmax 5 volts. Sawtooth waveform means analog waveform of period 1 milliseconds with maximum voltage of 5 volts. So we are going to write the assembly language program for getting the analog waveform from the digital input of period 1 milliseconds with the voltage of 5 volts. So we are going to interface the DAC 807523 with the 8086 by using programmable peripheral interface 8255. So we are having 8255 which are going to interface a DAC and 8086, and we are operate the DAC with the help of 8086 by writing ALP program, assembly language program, by using 8255. Here 8255 is having ports for sending the information from 8086 to DAC. Coming to the program interfacing of digital to analog converters. So this is the assembly language program of 8086 microprocessor for operating the DAC converter in the system. So first of all, this is the block for interfacing of 8086. Here we have an 8086 microprocessor is interfacing with the 8255A, that means PPI, to this 827523, that means operation of this digital to analog converters. It gives an analog output by using 8255A. This is interfacing the circuit for 8255 to the 8086 microprocessor by using 8255. This is a ALP program. First of all, we are writing this assume CS code, code segment for starting of code. We are writing code segment. Start move 80HAL. That means 80HAL is the specification for starting of an AL. It is the specifications that means the 8086 microprocessor is having in the register AL data 80H, that means 8 means 10000000. This is the information provided by us. Okay, so port AL register in the 8086 is initialized with the 80H. Then these AL which is having 10000000, this is the digital data. This will be converted into analog data by using 8255 as an which carries the information from 8086 to the input output devices. 8086 having the register AL 80H. These 80H is moved to the 8255 by using the command AL which is having 80H is moved to CWR. CWR is the register which is present in the 8255. So we are moving that 80H to the CWR. Then we have again 00H to the AL. That means we are first of all we are having initialize 800 to the AL. That means we are reset the AL with the 00. That means we are provide the initial 00 to the AL, and with this command AL is CWR. AL is moved to the CWR. That means we are initializing the control word register, which is the control word register, that is the 8255 register with 80H. That means we are giving the 80H to the CWR register. So this is a command port A. First of all, we are convert the 10000000 digital as an analog output by using 8255, which is a CWR register. So AL, which is having AL is moved to port A. Port A is present in the 8255. Port AL is 8H that will be given to the 8255. Then increment AL. That means first of all we have an 8255. See here we have an 8255, and then this AD7523. Port A is transfer the information to this digital to analog converter. That means whatever the data in the AL. So AL is having the data 80H. that will be transferred to this control word register. This 8255A is having this 8255A is having the 80H, the CWR register. This 80H is transferred to the 827523, and then it transfers this data and it converts the 80H to the analog output by using this circuit, output 1 and output 2. This is a program. So here first of all we are initialize the AL with the 0 0. That means it starts from 0 0 to final word FF for conversion from analog, digital to analog. So here we have the AL is 0 0, that means move to port A. That means first of all 0 is moved to port A. Then it asks to the digital to analog converter, which converts the data which is given. Then it converts the data, it gives as an output as an analog data. Increment AL, that means from 0 to 01 and 02, like that it will be incremented. After that, that means 0 to 5 volts, it will be going to convert from 0 to 5 volts. So 0 to 5 volts means this is a program for conversion of an digital to analog converter. See here, first of all we are going to initialize the AL register 8086 microcontroller with the 80H. With this 80H is initialized the CWR. CWR register is 8255 register, which is going to initialize the 8255 for providing the transformation information from 8086 to input or output devices. We are going to initialize the 80H to the CWR register. That means then we are starting from we are providing 0 to 5 volts. That means conversion of 5 volts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to like 5. Okay, so first of all we are taking 0, we are taking 1, then 2, 3, 4, like that we are going to convert. First of all we are initialize with the 0 to the AL register of 8086. So it sends 0. It sends 0 0 to the port A, that means 8255 port A is giving the information with a 0 0. Then AL is port A with a 0 0, that means 0 0 AL, and AL is having 0 0, that means it will be used to the port A. Then port A is giving to this digital to analog converter, Then like that, whenever it converts, increments the steps, that means 1 and we take 2 and 3, 4, like that up to 5. We are incrementing 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, like that, 0, 5. If there is no bits taken, it will jump back. That means it will jump back like that, and jump if no carry is there, then jump back again. That means it will initialize the first step, that will continues the step, repeat the step up to there is no values, code ends and stop. So it will use the output 0 0 analog output sawtooth waveform output. So this is the code. First of all we are initialize the CWR register to the 80H, and it will start from 0. It will converts the 0 into the analog output by increasing the 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 5, and there is no values to take by the port A. Then it will compare the input and jump back again. That means it will goes to next step, next input, and like that step will be repeat. The code ends, the output will be print. So see here we have an 8255 interfacing with the AD7523. That means we have an 8086 microprocessor. So 8255A is interfacing with the 827523. Then 827523 is convert the digital signal into analog signal. Whatever the port C is sending here, it converts the analog signal in digital signal into analog signal. So for the conversion of an analog to digital, we have an output 1 and output 2. For negative transients from the input, we are having the GNR diode placed here at the output 1 and output 2, and the op-amp for attaining the high voltage from the this conversion is having the current, so that current is converted into voltage by using the op-amp. So the feedback resistor RFB is used. This is the output from the analog to digital to analog converters. We have a V reference and the V voltages and the ground pin like this. Chip select. This is the interfacing of an analog to digital converters. See here we have an analog to digital converters. We have an 28 pins in this analog to digital converters. This is 08, 08, 08, 09. So we have an inputs which are 8 inputs 0, 1, 2, 3 and 7 up to 7. And the start of conversion and end of conversion. Whenever we are going to start the conversion, we use this 6th pin, and the end of conversion 7th pin. And the digital, we are going to convert the analog input to the digital by using, we are providing analog inputs, and the output is taken from DB0 to DB7 and DB1 from these pins, and we are going to give the address to the port B by using ABC. We have and providing for the address. We have 3 pins ABC, and the address will be whenever the port will carry the address latch enable is 1 like that, and the reference pin and the DB2 like that. And the ground pin and the reference plus VCC is provided here. What will be controlled at the 9th pin and the clock. So this is the pin diagram of 8257. We have this conversion internally has 3:8 analog multiplexer having 8 as an inputs and 3 are for providing address. Out of these 8 inputs, only one can be selected for conversion by using 3 address lines. Only we are using only one input for 8 out of 8 inputs. Only we are providing only one by one. We are convert that 8 inputs. For example, we have a 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. We are taking only one input at a time by using 3 address lines ABC. By using 3 address lines ABC, which are going to convert those 8 inputs as an digital inputs, digital outputs. So I will in port 0, port 1, port 2, input port 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 7. We have an like this. Port A, for example, address ABC 1 port, input pin 1, that means 1 is highest, then address will be 1. Either it becomes 0. Whenever the input port is 7, that means we are taking the port as an input from the input port 7, analog input 7, then the address C, A, B are high. That means 1, 1, 1. See here, interfacing ADC, this is an example, interfacing ADC 0808 with the 8086 using 8255. Use port A of 8255 transferring digital data output of ADC to the CPU, and the port C for control signals. Assume that analog input is present at input 2 of the ADC, and a clock input of a suitable frequency is available for ADC. So we are taking a input address IP2. IP2 means 0 0 1. Okay, so 0 0 1, that means A will be high, B 0, C 0. So we to 5 we are going to interface by using port A. We are in port A. That means port A is carrying the information from 8255 to input and output device. The input and output device is the analog to digital input device. Okay, this is the solution. So analog input IP2 is used, and their address pins it should be A10. IP2 means 010 should be 010 to select IP2. The OE output latch enable and the ALE pins are already kept at 5 volts to select ADC and enable the output. Port C upper access an input port to receive the end of conversion signal. Port C lower access an output port to receive the send the start of conversion to the ADC. For sending the start of conversion, port C lower is used. For sending the end of conversion from that analog to digital device, we are using port C upper. And the port A acts as an 8-bit input data port to receive the digital data output from the ADC. For collecting the output from the ADC, we are using port A. See here, this is a program. This is the program for initializing a for initializing TWR register, for initializing a 8255 IC, we are using 98H specification. For initializing the CWR register, for attaining the actions, for increasing the actions for gaining the action of an 8255, we are initializing 98H with the CWR register, which is present in the 8255 PPI. So first of all, we are taking 0 to H. Why? Because we are having the input 0, 1, 0. That means IP2. That means we are initializing the address pins as a 0 to H. Address pins as a 0 to H. 0 to H means we are out port B AL. AL is 0 to H, which port address pins are used by the port B, B0, B1, B2. Address pins 0 to H is our input. That means we are going to take the inputs from 0 to 2, like that. 0, 1 and 2. Up to 2, we are going to end the process. Why? Because we are taking the inputs 2. For that, we are taking 0, 1 and 2. For ending of 2, we are going to stop that conversion. Port 00H AL, and AL is going to start the conversion. So by using port C, we are going to tell the ADC to start the conversion by using port C lower and move 0, 1 like that, 0, 1, 0, 2. Like that, increment will be takes on up to 2. There is no values to take, there is no input to take. Then out ports AL will be port C, that means ports like that, 0, 0 like that, and the output port C AL. If there is no carry, that means up to 0 2 it will be over. Then there is no carry, port C. If there is no carry, port C tells to the AL, port C sends information to the AL. Jump if no carry, wait, state, and increment. Port A is going to, then there is no carry, it will not wait, it will jump no carry, it will wait. If there is carry, it will goes to the same steps. If there is no carry, it comes to input port A AL. That means port A is taking the output from the port A is taking the output from the ADC. Port A is taking the output. Port A7, port A now. Port A is taking the output from the ADC. Port A is taking the information from the ADC, and it gives the information from the port A is giving to the 8086 microprocessor, which is having AR register. So this is a process. So see here, first of all, we are initializing the 8255 with the CWR register 8255, and then the input is a 0 to H, and it will goes to the 0 to H by the address lines 0 to H. Whenever up to 0 to H, that means 0, 1, 2, it will repeat the operation. If the 2 is end, that means if there is no carry, it will rotate through carry. There is no carry, it will take the information from port A, the output which 0, 1, 2, that will be given to this analog to digital. Digital will be 0 0 0 0 like that. Whatever the digital output is given to the port A, then this port A is given to the 8086 microprocessor by using AL register. This is the operation. Okay. This is the interfacing. First of all, we are giving analog input from these address lines. 8255 is given to this port B. What is the information is converted. Whatever the information we are going to convert. Then taking the inputs from this analog input voltage. Then it starts the conversion whenever we are providing the signal. Start the conversion by using a program. Then it converts a start of program, and whenever the program will be end, it gives the information to the port A, whatever the output is given, port A, and it will port A is send the information to the 8086 microprocessor. This is the output.